This content is recreated to fit YouTube's policies, fair use, and licensed content. Welcome back to another episode of Movieraya TV. I'm your host, Movieraya Mickey, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the channel. Subscribe right now. Join the Vibe Tribe. And if you're feeling generous and want to leave me a tip for my extra work and my editing skills, I'll leave the Cash App link down below. Okay, on today's episode, I cover a classic, Last Dragon. In New York City, Leroy Green, also known as Bruce Leroy, has dreams of becoming a great martial artist like his idol Bruce Lee. His master explains that he has reached the final level of martial arts, accomplished known as the Last Dragon. See, martial artists who reach the final level are said to be able to concentrate such mystical energy into their hands that they begin to glow. Only a true martial artist master will be able to exhibit the glow over his entire body. Leroy doesn't fully understand, and in possession of a medal supposedly belonging to Bruce Lee, Leroy embarks upon a spiritual journey to find Master Sumdum Goy, whom his master claims can help Leroy unlock the power of the glow. Another martial artist, Scenethe, also known as the Shogun of Harlem, sees Leroy as the only obstacle to being acknowledged as the true master of martial arts. When Leroy refuses to fight him, a furious Scenethe attempts to menace Leroy into accepting his challenge. Accompanied by his minions, Crunch, Beast, and Cyclone, Scenethe barges into Leroy's martial arts school. The gang assaults Johnny Yu, one of Leroy's students, demanding that Leroy bow before Scenethe. Finally, Scenethe and company ransack the Green family's pizza restaurant. Meanwhile, video arcade mogul Eddie Arcadian sends his men to kidnap local VJ Laura Charles, owner of the Seventh Heaven studio, where she films a TV series similar to Soul Train. Eddie hopes to get several trashy music videos he has produced, starring his girlfriend Angela Veracco, featured on Laura's show. The kidnap attempt is then broken up by Leroy, who easily fends off the thugs. He loses his medal during the struggle, which Laura recovers. Later, Leroy witnesses Laura being kidnapped by the Arcadian's brutish henchman, Rock. A clue left behind reveals that the kidnappers work for Eddie Arcadian Productions. Laura refuses to promote Angela's video on her program, but as Arcadian's men prepare to coerce her, Leroy suddenly bursts into the room, clothed as a ninja, and rescues Laura once again. Back at her apartment, Laura gratefully returns Leroy's medal. Consumed with vengeance, Arcadian hires Scenethe to defeat Leroy and takes control of the Seventh Heaven studio. Capturing Laura and Leroy's younger brother, Richie, who has snuck in hoping to woo Laura, posing as a pizza delivery man, Leroy then manages to infiltrate the assumed lair of Master Sumdum Goy within their fortune cookie factory, but is shocked to discover that the master is only a computer dishing out cookie fortunes. Leroy consults his former master for answers, but his master suggests that Leroy has known the answers all along. Not wanting anyone to get hurt in the process of achieving her stardom, Angela leaves Arcadian and asks Johnny to warn Leroy about his plan. As Leroy returns to Seventh Heaven, he is ambushed by an army of violent thugs hired by Arcadian. Leroy's students, led by Johnny, charge into the studio to even the odds, using Laura as bait. Eddie lures Leroy to an abandoned building where he finally faces off against Scenethe. During the battle, Scenethe reveals his ability to use the glow, his hands pulsating with a red aura, and beats Leroy viciously before attempting to force him to acknowledge Scenethe as the master. As recent events flash before Leroy's eyes, he realizes that his former master was correct and that everything he needed to achieve the final level was within him all along. His entire body bathed in the sublime golden light of the glow, Leroy uses his newfound power to defeat Scenethe. Arcadian appears and fires a single bullet, which Leroy catches between his teeth before detaining Arcadian for the police. Laura and Leroy are then reunited at the studio where the two kiss. Last Dragon. So here it is, Vibe Tribe, life lessons from the movie Last Dragon. Number 1, you are the master of your own destiny. One of the central themes of the movie is the idea that we are in control of our own lives. Leroy is constantly reminded by his mentor that he needs to find the glow within himself in order to become a true master. This message is a powerful reminder that we all have the power to shape our own lives. Number 2, You must have confidence in yourself. Another important lesson from the movie is the importance of having self-confidence. Leroy is a skilled martial artist, but he struggles to believe in himself and his abilities. It's only when he learns to trust in himself that he is able to achieve his goals. And number 3, don't let others define you. The character of scenethe is a great example of how others can try to define us and limit our potential. Throughout the movie, he tries to convince Leroy he's not a true master and that he will never find the glow. Leroy ultimately proves him wrong by embracing his own identity and becoming the master he was always meant to be. Until next time, Mickey made it.